Assalamu alaikum. Long time no see. Today I'm going to talk about education and what you'll gain and what you'll lose if you move overseas with children. What I've come to see while I've been over here is there are different types of education. You have what they call international schools, you have some countries what they call bilingual schools, and then you have public education. And most times, public education is only open to the nationals of the country. UAE, they do allow non nationals to attend public school, however, you have to pay. Um, that leads me to the next thing is the cost of education over here. If you send your child to what they call an international school, you are looking to pay anywhere between eight to $20,000 a year for school fees. That does not include the bus to take them back and forth to school. Does not include lunch, and it does not include any extracurricular activities that you may want your child to participate in. The thing is, the international schools are what they call better schools, and this is because they attract trained teachers. Usually, these teachers are from Europe, America, Canada, and Australia, and they are trained and have some type of degree in education. They're usually um, hired with having at least 3 years of experience. So your child will have some type of trained professional teaching them, usually. However, just because you have a trained teacher does not mean that you have a school that is really giving them the curriculum that you think that they would get when you compare it to what you get at home. Um, I'll give you an example. When I first went to Egypt, my children attended international schools. My oldest daughter was in the ninth grade, and she would bring home things her teacher wrote. And the English was something that you would think a fourth grader would write. She constantly corrected her teachers, and she constantly complained about not being challenged. This school was $8,000 a year. That's no small, chump change to pay for my child to sit in the classroom and she feels like she's not being challenged. Um, my younger two children went to a school that was pretty expensive as well, and they complained of not really having people to speak with because during recess the children speak Arabic and my children didn't speak Arabic at the time, and so they ran into um, not having friends to one of my son didn't have a problem, but my daughter did, youngest one. And in the classroom, it was hard for her to understand what was going on because while her teacher was American, she was the only American student. So he had to slow things up and explain things in a different way. And it made things very confusing for her. Whereas she was in a classroom with native English speakers, teacher just gives you directions, you look at the pictures, you know what they are, and it's no big deal. But when you're dealing with non-native speaking students and you're looking at an American textbook and you can't follow it the way it's supposed to be followed in America, it causes problems. Another problem that I found was when you look at the schools that are not international schools, you usually have Syrians, Lebanese, people like Egyptians that will teach your children. These are not native English speakers. So your child's English, while their Arabic may go up, their English skills will not be as strong as it would be if you possibly homeschooled them or if they went to to school in America. And this leads me to, if you move overseas, you need to be willing to homeschool your kids. Even if you do decide to send them to a school because you want them to get Arabic language or Islamic studies or whatever, just socialization with children, you will need to supplement the education with some type of homeschooling. Because if your child decides that they want to go back to America, they will not be prepared to attend college. They will not be prepared to be on grade level if they go back to school during their academic careers. This is no way a child here in the sixth grade could go to America and be put in the sixth grade. Trust me, I'm a teacher here, and I know. Unless you are spending, like I said, $10,000 a year or more for the education, you you're just not gonna find it. I work in a school now where the students that are in first grade are barely doing what a person would do in pre-K. So this really behind. I have a friend that's teaching sixth graders, and the things that her sixth grade students are writing is what I would expect a first or second grade student to write. So they're reading. I gave her some books from a first grade class, and those are the books that her children in sixth grade are reading, and they're finding it challenging. So this kind of gives you an example, some examples of what's going on and what you can expect if you bring your children here. Um, Living overseas, like I told you before, is comes with some challenges, and so I just wanted to let you all know one of them, which is a big one if you are bringing children overseas. I know I haven't done this in a while, and to come back with education, you're probably like, huh, what's this? However, I do have another topic that I'm going to um, post shortly within the next day or two, which should get your juices going because it's something that I've been reading a lot about on a few blogs and wrote about it myself on mine. And I think that is something that we need to think about before we decide to move overseas or just even in general with our lives in America or in Canada or whatever, any Western country. But until then, I'm going to leave you with salam alaikum and thank you all for visiting my site and thank you all for wanting to hear about life overseas. And I promise it will not be another 30 days before I post. So thank you and have a wonderful and blessed day. Assalamu alaikum.